My bad. I'm sorry. I'm not on my game yet. I will be
Green
here.
fly.
Hello back. Hello. Welcome back, everybody.
Can we do a sound check, Bug? Yeah.
Is he willing to do sound check for us?
Can you do a sound check for us since I have visibility on you? Okay. Loki.
Hello, Loki here.
Okay. Lyric.
It is I, Lyric. The best monk ever.
Reeks.
Hey, I'd like to sell you this new vacuum cleaner. It sucks pretty bad though.
Dumb.
Boo! Boo! Okay,
Boo, I
good.
know. Thank you. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a half session, we'll say, 6.5. All right. We last left off after a pretty grueling battle where one party member came face to face to the ground, we'll say. After its two-headed
Really funny
ogre,
way of saying you threw me across the map, right?
a two-headed ogre appears, seemingly out of nowhere, leaving with it behind some purple mist residually. Artok sends his servant, we'll call him, in to investigate, and finds that it damages the servant to the point of re-death, if that's even a thing, clearing up all of the purple mist. In the heat of the moment, after the battle, as everybody takes a moment to kind of take a breath, Lyric, she kind of sits down and pulls out her flute and begins to play. Loki hears the sounds of it, looks over, looking around at everybody, making sure that everyone is more or less accounted for. Looks over at Lyric and begins to walk over and gently places his hand on Lyric. We find ourselves in an odd situation where the sky and the ground and everything around you itself begins to merge into one steady color. You begin to see shadows of light itself twisting around and swirling. You are in a tunnel of sorts, surrounded by lightning, swirling lights all around you, blues, purples, greens. Beyond that, you see darkness as you begin to tumble and weave. I would like you both to make a dexterity save for me in order to find each other in the madness.
Oh shit. Oh, you're making us roll already. I think my character pulled up.
Dex save, my expertise. Now let me just pull up my character.
The proficiency saving throws dexterity. Go! Oh, thank God.
Oh, that's great. That's a great roll.
Dex save?
Dex save. Oh, if that would have been advantage. That would have been a natural 20.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So,
This is what happens when I talk shit.
Loki, as you begin to reach out, you see Lyric. She's about 12 feet from you at this moment. As you begin to fly through this kind of portal, you notice there is no breeze, there's no wind, there's no temperature change. You seem to be kind of in an odd space where you seem to be moving, but you don't be. What would you like to do, Loki?
I think the first thing I'm going to do is just apologize. Sorry, Lyric! I didn't mean to do that!
Nice. All right. You begin to tumble and fall. There's a sound that begins to grow around you. You
Wait,
hear
hold
it.
on. I think I
Yeah.
may be able to do something to
Sure,
get
sure.
towards her.
Okay.
Can I cast any spells in this?
You can try.
Oh,
Definitely.
all right. So, what can I just throw out? Because the plan here is to use this. So hopefully I can fly. So I need to cast something, just throw it out, so I can do that. That's the plan anyway. So that's part 2 of the plan. So part 1 of the plan. First I need to cast something. I already casted Dissonant Whispers. That's once a day thing. I can't do that again. I don't want to cast Witch Bolt, so I think I'll just cast Thunder Wave. Since I'm far enough away from her, you said, right?
You are.
Okay, so hopefully this will
save.
just harmlessly go out, and then I can use Tempestuous Magic to fly towards her.
Okay, I see what you're saying. In this case, and Loki, you are actually following the rules. That's actually perfect what you're supposed to do. But in this case, since we're not actually engaged in combat, we'll go ahead and if you don't want to have to cast that in order to use your other, I'll let you just go ahead and use the other.
You let me use Tempestuous Magic?
Yes.
All right, that's
Because you're not technically in a material plane right now, so to speak.
okay.
Yeah.
If you'll let me use it, then
I will.
I will go ahead and use it to fly towards it to try and
Sure.
lock up with her, at least so we're floating together.
Okay, and you see Lyric kind of tumbling in a very odd direction. She seems to be going towards the barrier, if there is a barrier, to this very odd spinning vortex that you seem to be flying through. As you begin to concentrate, Loki, you find yourself moving without any kind of propellant or anything. You kind of just moving kind of freely through this spinning vortex. And you find yourself right next to Lyric, Loki. She's kind of upside down at the moment, kind of a little bit close to the edge. If you'd like to reach out a hand and
Yeah,
prevent her from doing so.
I'm gonna reach out both hands, like, quick, take my hands,
Yeah.
take my hands.
For sure.
I'm gonna frantically grab at his hand.
All right. You hear?
Mumbling something about an ogre being disoriented.
Yeah, for sure. You hear right beside you the sound of thunder as you reach the very border of the vortex. It seems to be spinning very close to you, Lyric, as Loki reaches out a hand to save you. As you do that, you start to hear the sounds of fighting as you
Not
tumble
again.
through this vortex. There seems to be a light at the end, and before you even know, you were brought to a
I
battlefield.
gave you too much time, Reeks. I gave you too much time.
Oh no.
I gave him too much time.
Another fight?
So,
We just did that.
Oh,
you
God.
find
All right.
yourself as you fall from seemingly the sky towards the ground here. You find yourself looking around, and you see fire everywhere. Everywhere you see fire and bodies.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Purple monkey destructor.
Yes.
I'm kind of busy right now. Sorry. Sorry about that.
No worries. Do you need a second? Are you good?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So as you reach the ground, and you reach the ground actually with very gently. You touch the ground here, seemingly unaffected by any kind of fall damage or anything like that. And as you touch the ground, you both look around and you see fighting in every direction. You see piles of bodies all around you, blood smeared across the ground, giant holes and craters in the dirt. buildings or buildings, cottages and farmhouses and such on fire around you. Giant scratches in the land itself. You see boulders in pretty much every direction, just in places they shouldn't be, on houses, on trees, on piles of carcasses. Lyric, to your immediate west, as you look around, you see. Roll a perception check for me. You as well, Loki, please.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna RP a little bit and just be like,
Yeah.
I didn't want this. I just didn't want to see that corpse anymore. But this is so much worse.
There's more corpses here, Loki.
Oh, another 8.
Damn it.
Oh, what is this game doing to you, Lyric? That's the second time you got the. Yeah, that's horrible.
Second time that she got that, but a nat 20 is
or
the
just
advantage
regular?
roll.
Just a regular perception check.
I did roll perception, right?
Oh
did.
my god!
Wow. So the fog, the smoke around you, the fog of war, if you will, the smoke from the fires and the ogres running around and the goblins and you can see men kind of dressed in very odd garment. There's some with long white flowing cloaks. Something else that you notice, even with your perceptions, because you're so wrapped up in the moment, right? You see Lyric off to your west, immediate west, maybe 60 feet away. You see a very, very large creature, something made out of pure fire, seemingly. Seems to be making a path across the battlefield here, leaving fire in its stead. And it seems to be throwing boulders of fire into pretty much any direction in your eyes. And as you look, a boulder just hits a group of men in kind of light armor and just completely smushes them into the ground. You see parts of them kind of explode and separate from the bodies as this happens. Loki, you are the blue orb, by the way, Lyric. At this moment,
Wait, am I the green orb?
you are.
You know what? I now perfectly understand why I don't remember any of this. Because this is traumatizing in its own right.
Yeah,
What the
it's pretty
fuck?
bad. It's pretty bad. You see right to your immediate right, Loki, to your immediate east. You see a large explosion happens, and as you look to your west, and you look around frantically to find out where it came from, you see a large being made out of like pure fire, seemingly. It seems to be manifesting boulders of fire and throwing them across the battlefield, striking just groups of men at a time.
Oh boy.
I will at this moment
gonna-
ask you what you'd like
Go
to do.
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell out for Loki. Loki!
I'm pretty far away from Lyric. I think that's gonna be my best course of action is try to regroup with her.
That's a great idea. Okay. In this
So-
moment, Loki.
She's pretty far away. She's like,
She
God,
is.
75 foot.
Yeah, she is. She could be anywhere at this moment, Loki, on the battlefield.
So
And you look around.
I don't know where she's at then.
You do not.
Interesting.
I was going to use dynamic lighting here, but I felt like, I'm not
Gotcha.
going to do that to him.
So.
Yeah.
What can I use to get her attention?
That's a good question. Lyric, you are also at the same time, you're looking around here, Lyric, and you see cottages on fire, piles of bodies. But you remember, you can change. You can shift into something else. Maybe you can get out of here. And as you reach up for your amulet, Lyric, it doesn't seem to be there.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes.
Sorry? Oh, yeah.
Okay, y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard the oh shit.
Okay, I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna like feel around my chest for a minute, and
Sure.
I'm just gonna like take a quick breath and go, Loki, gotta find Loki, and I'm just gonna yell really, really loud, Loki!
That is fantastic. We're gonna say, in the heat of the moment, and we'll do it just for funs. I would like both of you to roll a 1d20 for me, please. There's so much sound. There's so much. Oh, a 1 and a 2.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, there's so much fighting going on. There's fire blazing around you. There's boulders being hurled through the air. As you look around you to your south, you both see. As a matter of fact, sorry, Lyric. I'm trying to remember the colors. Lyric,
No,
from
you're good.
behind you, you notice there seems to be a row of these fire creatures. Maybe 100 feet, to maybe 200, 300 feet away. There seems to be a row to the south of them, just on their coming this direction. And they seem to be just hurling these fiery boulders in every direction that they can.
God damn it. Okay, you said they're which direction?
They're coming from the south and heading north.
So they're coming from this way?
Yes.
I
Okay,
got
I
it.
want to avoid those. So I'm gonna start moving this
Yeah.
way
Sure.
to go around this blazing fire.
You got it. I
There's enough
love it.
time.
Oh, I know. That was a good roll. 21. It seems that there's so much smoke in the area, but you get a glimpse. There seems to be some kind of glow, Lyric, amongst all the fighting around you and the people and the goblins and stuff. And sorry, I didn't put all of it on the map. It would have been.
No, you're good. You're
There
good.
would have been. Just imagine there's fighting everywhere around you. Like everywhere you look, there's fighting. And bodies, and mounds and piles of bodies. And there isn't much glowing of the fire aside from one green kind of glimmer you see, Lyric, to your north. Loki, you do have your flute.
I do have my flute.
Do.
All right, here's the plan. So, I am going to take advantage of this. And I am going to hop, skip, jump my
Oh.
butt on top of this boulder.
Yes.
And in the best way possible. So I'm going to get to the top of it so I could get a good
Yep.
vantage point.
You totally can too. It is actually not very steep. There's spots where you can get to the peak
So
of it.
I'm going to get to the peak of it.
Yes.
And since I've heard her play her odd melody a lot, I'm going
Yes.
to try my best to mimic it on my flute to try and get her attention and try to play it as loudly as I possibly can. And hopefully she will recognize it and come towards my direction.
Okay, I love this. This is fantastic. Loki, roll a performance check with advantage, please. Look at that. Look at that little nudge it gave it to the 15. That was awesome.
Nice.
So, Lyric.
Yeah.
You're pretty far here. I'd like you to roll a. Oh my gosh, what would we? This is what we need. We need specific. We need like a miscellaneous category, right? for
Would
stuff
this
like
be perception?
Maybe it would be. Yeah, perception is
mean-
probably right.
And I'm kind of
Or-
already
or
watching
would
the
it be-
green glow. Too,
You are.
Right?
That's true.
Or
that's
would
true.
it be survival?
You know what? For the sake of it, look, you rolled really well. I don't think we're gonna make her roll for it. You're right, Lyric. You would be if you would see the green glow and you'd be focused on it. And so you do hear it, Lyric. You hear the melody, and you are drawn to the direction is northwest, and it seems to be up on that rock from what you can see.
So I'm gonna keep just moving towards the green glow,
Okay,
and I'm gonna keep yelling, "Loki!"
and you can hear her at this point.
I guess I'm just gonna start waving
gonna-
my one free hand. Over here! I'm over here on the rock!
Okay, can I keep moving towards him?
You can.
Okay, so I'm gonna
You can.
get to here.
All right,
at
and
the
as
bottom of the rock.
as you get here, Lyric, there is a group of soldiers here fighting. They're kind of in the way, so to speak. Would you like to kind of
Okay.
go around them? Would you like to go through them? Like, how would you? How do you wanna?
I'm gonna shove between them. Like I'm just gonna shove them out of my way and just like barrel through the fight. Like I don't even care.
Yeah. So
Like, I gotta get to my little satyr guy.
as you do this, you realize there isn't any resistance as you move past
I knew it.
And as you approach Loki, you begin to sense a high-pitched frequency. It's kind of a beaming sound. As it overrides the fighting all around you. And in just a moment, you're kind of you've tuned out all of the fighting around you, and what you see
Holy moly.
is a giant runic symbol on the landscape from your distance, from your height on the rock. And around you, Loki and Lyric, from your distance here, you see many, many, many orbs, blues, greens, reds, all across the battlefield. And you look around from every direction, and there seems to be men or elves, it's hard to say, and they have something around their eyes, long black cloaks, and they seem to be holding some kind of long pole or staff above their heads with a very radiant kind of orange glow about it. And the lights, the orbs, they seem to be shepherding towards these lights as almost to be guided to a location. And you witness this, you both do from this location. All of these orbs, thousands and thousands of them all across the landscape, spread out in just about every direction you can see.
Well, this is interesting.
So have we met up with each other at this point?
You have. You're on the rock.
All right.
Yeah, okay, so
Loki. Oh my God, Loki.
I am so sorry. I didn't want to be there with Artok and that thing. I'm sorry. I didn't know this would happen. This is so much worse.
This is a battlefield and we have to get out of it. There are giants with flamey boulders, and I walked through those dudes down there, and what is with the orbs?
It's okay. It's happened before with me and Azel, me and Artok before. This isn't. I mean, it's real, but it isn't real. It's a vision of sorts.
A vision. Got it. I've done that before. I did that before with the mirror, and I saw the drow kid in the house, and yes. Got it.
We gotta remain calm, and honestly, I think it would be best if we just try to grasp as much information as we can.
Okay. Well, so are you saying we're safe?
We should be. If my past experience has taught me anything, we'll only be here for a little while, and then we'll fade back to the regular world.
Okay, so information. How do we get information?
Use your eyes, use your ears, and just pay attention.
Okay.
Do you see the giant magic circle on the ground?
I see a lot of glowing.
I'm going to kind of point with my hand, kind of like show her the border of the thing, try to guard.
Yeah.
Can she see it, or is it just me?
She can.
Do you see it?
You both can,
What?
actually. It illuminates.
The hell is that?
It's so bright.
I don't know. Do you recognize the symbols on there? Do I recognize the symbols on there?
Roll a. Wow, that's a great question. I did not think about. Talia's laughing right now. I know it. Roll a history check for me, both of you.
History?
I just heard the chuckle.
History, yes.
No.
Are these runes in any language that I know? Because I know a lot of languages.
I'm about to find out. Oh, maybe.
20 and an 18. Look at you guys.
Well.
Oh,
Oh,
six.
no. 6.
Loki, it looks like a combination, a very audio combination between Elvish and Dwarvish, if that makes any sense.
Okay, I mean, I don't know any of those languages, but I'm going to assume
Yeah.
that I've seen them before and roughly know that.
Yeah. It
So
seems to be
Elvish-
some kind of ward or
Elvish.
protection or.
Man, do we have anything we can write with? or make like? I mean, there's a battlefield going on around
I
us.
don't
There's
have
fire
my
everywhere.
necklace. I
There's
don't
got to
know
be
if I have.
charcoal.
Do I
but-
have my pack? My little pouches I carry and my pack.
Yeah, you seem to have everything. Although I will say, when you look at your hands, they seem almost different.
Oh, me?
This is. I don't feel right.
You observe the carts. There seems to be carts rolling around in between the battle. It's very odd to you. They seem to be walking in between these battles that are happening. These small battles across the battlefield. These carts being pulled by these tieflings, wearing kind of like these long purple robes. And they seem to be scooping up bodies onto the cart and carrying them off the battlefield, like into a very. It's hard to see from your position here, but maybe to caves. They seem to be going in a similar direction as all of these different colored orbs that you're witnessing being kind of shepherded by these beings that have their eyes covered. And as you begin to observe them, you realize, Lyric, there's a blue glow around the ground by your feet. Loki, you notice there's a green glow around the ground at your feet.
Uh-oh. This didn't happen before.
This is
different.
You seem to be...
something.
I don't know. You seem to be... there seems to be some kind of a nudging sensation, a yearning to move forward.
Lyric, I don't know about you, but my gut tells me we need to go.
Yeah, I think we need to follow this. These runes. Did you recognize them?
I don't understand it, but the symbols look familiar. I'm not sure if it's Elvish or Dwarvish or maybe a combination.
What does it seem like it's doing?
If I had to guess, maybe a warding rune, a protection of some kind.
Should we? Okay, if it's protecting something, it's going to protect whatever's in the middle, right?
One would assume.
Where are these orbs moving towards?
That's a great question. They are moving in this direction.
Oh boy, that can't be a coincidence.
Okay. Towards the center we go then, man.
You
said we should find out information, I think we should see what this is protecting.
That's a good idea, I would say too. And as you begin to move too, without any checks of any kind of sort, to the south, as you begin to sweep, just look around you at everything, you notice you don't see soldiers anymore here on the battlefield. You're seeing just lots and lots of orbs of different colors and sizes, and they seem to be all moving in the same kind of general direction to the northeast here, to like a cave. Also, you see to the south, behind some of these orbs, a very large form with seemingly, it looks like maybe some kind of a large mouth, and it seems to be scooping up these orbs by the dozens, just in big scoops, scooping them up. And you see the orbs, the light of the orb begin to slowly fade as this monstrosity begins to scoop them up. And it's probably maybe a good 500 feet away from you right now, but you see there are a couple of them moving across the battlefield, scooping up these orbs.
I don't know what that is, but I think we should avoid it just in case.
Is it eating them?
I don't know. It looks like it's absorbing them. I just think since we're glowing too, I don't want to get too close.
Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
All right. We can actually, if you'd like, they're moving into this direction here, and as you begin to move through the middle here, the section, and you see the smoke and all of the bodies and all the orbs as well, you see these creatures they don't seem to be able to get past this giant runic symbol on the battlefield. They seem to be held back by it.
The fire creatures.
Some magic. No, the creatures that seem to be devouring these green and blue and red orbs from the battlefield. They seem to be held back almost like this is almost like a gate or a fence. As you begin to make your way.
I guess I'm kind of gonna, under my breath, just say, "Huh. Sometimes walls aren't made to keep things out, but to keep things in."
Did you say, Riggs, that we still have our pack?
You do.
Can I, as we're running, can I be like digging around in my pockets and see if I can grab my quill?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna grab my quill, and I'm gonna kind of lick at the end of it where the dried ink is to kind of rehydrate that ink because I'm moving too fast to dig paper out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna push up on my like all the fabric and stuff I keep on my arms to get like my upper arm exposed on the inside.
Yes.
And I'm gonna start trying to scribble these runes down on my arm so that I can remember them later.
Like in your skin.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to write on my arm, kind of like you have a pen and you're writing on your
Reach, you
hand.
Monster! I got you. You're not carving them into your skin. You're using the ink.
No. I'm not above that. I'm not gonna do that to Loki.
I love it. That's great.
God.
Lyric is also not above that, as y'all will learn later if y'all can ever get her to get her fabric scraps off. But no, that is not the case here. I just want to like write a couple of them down because I know that Artok is smarter than me, and I'm gonna be like, Artok, do you recognize this language? Later, and I'm just gonna like show him my arm.
Oh no, this is good. All right.
That's why I was like kind of licking the quill to see if I can rehydrate that ink without having to pull everything out.
So I would say, Lyric, the symbols on the ground are so big that you could probably make out a couple of them, what a couple of them may be, especially from your spot up atop the rock. You could probably make out a good couple of characters. Roll a. What did I do with Brandy for her to remember? I think just a general history check.
You want me just to roll a history check?
Do you have proficiency in history?
No.
You do not?
I was going to say, do you want me just to roll a random d20? Let me see. I have proficiency in insight and perception. That's about it.
I'll tell you what. Roll a history check to remember.
Okay.
Oh no!
3.
What is with these rolls tonight, you guys?
Double twos.
Unbelievable.
So, Lyric, you jot down a couple of letters. A letter that looks kind of like an I. This one here. I'll ping it for you. This one here, and the one next to it that looks like an X.
So, this one and this one?
That's right. Yep.
Okay, so these two right here.
That's right. Yep.
So IX. That is
IX.
so incredibly helpful. It's not like that exists in every single language possible.
I know, unfortunately.
You know what? I'm doing something.
You are. And it is on your skin. IX.
Cool.
And I need to write that down so that I remember. Perfect. Okay. As you begin to move forward too, kind of in your hurry here through, you see this kind of shepherd-ish figure. It's very odd. He's holding up a staff, and the staff has like a hook on the end, but it's got like this big golden glow in the middle of it, and it seems to be attracting the attention of my cat, apparently, and all of the orbs around the area in the battlefield here. You're starting to see, from your perspective here, that the only orbs that seem to be left are the ones inside the perimeter of this giant runic symbol. Every other orb on the outside seems to have been devoured by these large creatures, hard to describe. These large kind of fleshy, wrinkly, kind of featureless masses that have a very large kind of head. I guess a T-Rex. What's a T-Rex? With no arms, just kind of a large head that walks
So
around.
basically, just big mouths that are
Big
eating.
mouths. Yeah, they're just devouring these orbs by the mouthfuls. You get
That's
close.
not horrifying at all.
It's really, really bad. And you see all these orbs that are left, they're all bunched up now. And I'm sorry I didn't put this on the map, but they're all bunched up now, kind of up here near the top of the mouth of the cave. And you can see there is a couple of these beings. And you're getting a closer look now, the both of you. And you can see they have no eyes. Their eyes are gone, and they seem to be sewn shut. There seems to be kind of a nasty scar in their place. The one seems to be wearing some kind of a blinder on, but the other is very much so exposed, and you can see no eyeballs, just kind of leading, if you will, these orbs into the cave. Do you wish to proceed?
There's gonna be an audible "the fuck" from Loki, but yes, we will go.
Okay.
Nice.
So are we going into a cave? Is that what's happening?
That is what's happening.
For knowledge.
Okay. Before we go into the cave, I want to take one last really good look around and see if I recognize any of the houses.
Sure. Roll a history check for me, Lyric.
That's a good.
A history or perception?
You want to see if you recognize the houses?
Yeah, if I recognize the houses.
So recognizing them
That's a good point. I wish I had thought of that.
recall lore. Oh, this is about recalling lore. General awareness, keen senses, conversations. You know what? Yeah, go ahead and do a perception check. Why not?
Whew.
Do it with advantage as well.
23.
Oh, look at that! Very nice.
Finally a good roll.
Yeah, Lyric. The land.
Uh-huh.
The land seems familiar to you.
Okay.
The house is not necessarily, but you do recognize kind of the formation of a couple of these rocks right here.
Okay. Wait. Briggs, is this the same map we just came off of? But without a road through it?
No
Hold
comment.
on. Are you saying
Okay.
that in character?
No, that was the Jamie realization. But Lyric's just gonna be like, that rock, and I'm just gonna like really take it into my memory, like really crunch it in there.
Loki's just focused on these eyeless figures, so he's not going to.
And to help Lyric's
notice.
memory, I'm gonna take a quick screenshot of this map for later purposes.
I love it.
I totally. This is for my notes. I'm doing this
it's
for my
okay.
notes.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sure.
I'm gonna say Loki didn't really pay attention that much. He was more focused on the orbs and the eyeless figures, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. It's just disaster everywhere you look. There are bodies and fire and barely any trees in some spots altogether. Just half burnt trunks sticking up out of the ground like just a charred mess. Plant life, things seem to be gray and without color here in this very odd sense of reality that as you look around you before you look into the cave. The soldiers that you saw not moments ago seem to be gone from your vision, and the only thing that seems to remain are just these orbs that all seem to be moving in the same general direction as we move into
Oh boy.
The hell?
Can you see? See the hallway? Okay.
I see a hallway with a metal gate.
Yes. So, as you reach the mouth of the cave, and you look to your left, there is a being standing there. You can see him as real as day now, kind of burned into your memory, with no eyes, kind of the eyes taken out and sewn shut, guiding all of these orbs through this cave. As you begin to make your way through the cave, you notice there's kind of a network of roots that make their way
Hold
all
on
around
1
you.
second before you
Yes.
go on further. So this guy's much closer now, right?
Yes.
Is there anything we can discern on him, like any markings, any amulets,
Yes.
anything on his clothing that we can make out?
There are. Actually, that's a fantastic question. Roll, I would say, and for the sake of it, roll a perception check, both of you, please, with advantage.
Handing out advantages tonight.
I am. Well, you guys are really close to him now, so,
Good.
and you're really, really like, you're all very, very
Here,
curious.
she- Okay.
Perception.
Perception.
Oh boy.
11 and a 24.
24.
All right. So, Loki, you notice there doesn't seem to be any other features about they seem to be human to you. Well, this one seems to be, at least.
This one.
Yeah, he seems to be human. There seems to be a scar down all the way down the left side of his face, his cheek, all the way down to kind of his chin line, that goes all the way up to his eye and past his eye, up into his scalp. It's a pretty thick, pretty deep-looking scar. Maybe a weapon hit or an axe or something, maybe. But you can see his eyes are gone, stitched shut. It looks as though with precision, perfectly spaced, almost dressed in such a way to make them presentable, is weird and odd and horrible as that sounds.
So not an injury, almost like it was ritualistically taken.
Yes, almost like ritualistically, and to the point, Loki, where they were proud of it. Very odd to you. Lyric, you notice the garments that they wear, aside from the scar right down the side of its face, which you can make no mistake about it, Lyric. That is a sword wound. He took a sword right to the face and survived it somehow.
And was proud of it.
Yeah, was proud of it, took it. You can also see around his waist there, he wears a belt of sorts, kind of a tied off kind of piece of garment, Lyric, with a piece of frayed part on the bottom, just barely kind of attached. And on the top, there seems to be a thread. And around the thread, there are little bones. Seems to be maybe rodent bones. There's a couple of lines painted around one of them. It looks like a little rodent bone with 2 black lines painted around the middle of it. Very odd to you.
So what you're telling me is he has a trinket hanging from his belt?
It seems to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is telling Lyric that there is a trinket dangling in front of her?
Yes.
Just so we're clear? Okay.
Oh,
well,
no.
I'm gonna try to swipe that fucking trinket.
You're gonna
Oh
try
my
to take
God.
it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to take it.
I hope I notice it. Like, no, don't stop.
So
I'm taking the damn trinket.
you just kind of just swipe it, just right here.
As we're like walking past, I'm just gonna reach out and try to like tug at that little like really
Yeah.
like thin piece of thread there, and just like as we're walking past, just like just like right off there.
Sure. Well, this is definitely going to require some serious like dexterity, right? With your feet, you're going to have to really plan this out in order to make this happen. So what I'm going to say is, roll a sleight of hand check for me, Lyric.
Sleight of hand.
Now, as you
Big
walk
money,
by,
big money.
I can't believe you're trying to steal from a freaking ghost.
Big money, honey. Hold on. I'm rubbing my hands together. Trinket thief. Let's go. Watch this be the
Oh
only good
my
one.
god.
21.
Are you fucking serious?
Lyric is the power of the trinket.
Oh man.
How can you grab something immaterial?
So let me.
What the fuck?
Okay, I could at least do
Okay,
this.
look, I have multiple motivations here. First of all, trinket. Put a trinket on Flitter. Okay. Second of all, it's something I can grab that looks significant, and maybe I can give it to Artok and be like, smart person that I know. What is this weird cult thing? See? I have multiple motivations.
That sounds like an
Also,
excuse.
Artok, you have to give it back to me when you're done with it.
All right. So as you walk by and you begin to
Uh-huh.
extend your hand out towards this kind of bone, this hung on a thread with two black lines painted in it, you notice immediately, Lyric, that your hand kind of goes right through the skirt
Aw.
and the dress of and the skin of this person standing there. But as it goes through everything else, it makes contact with this rodent kind of bone with the two black lines in it.
What
and
the hell?
your finger actually makes enough contact that it sweeps just enough to kind of unthread just a part of it. Unfortunately, you are unable to collect the trinket itself. However, you learned, you got some information here from this.
Mm-hmm.
As you are swept in to the cave along with the other orbs that seem to be making contact.
Did I see her touch this thing? Or was it too covert?
Oh,
I
where
got
didn't notice?
information? What kind of information?
So you realized in the moment that
Huh.
your hand went through the material of the skin and the cloak and the cape and everything, but it made contact with that bone. For whatever reason, that bone that had the two lines painted on it, you were able to touch it in this weird world, this place that you're in.
Okay, so either Lyric's desire for trinket transcends time and space, or there's something fucked up about that trinket. Loki.
Yeah. And you notice the other one had the same kind of hanging trinket as well, Lyric, as you passed by.
Interesting. I'm gonna assume I didn't notice her kleptomania trying to take that. So
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you. It's fine.
Okay, nice.
Loki.
what?
You got the trinket.
What about the trinket?
I tried to take it, but my hand went straight through him.
Of course you
But
can't.
then
take
my
it, it's not
fingers
real.
grabbed the trinket, and I tugged, but I didn't tug hard enough, and so it stayed. But I could touch it. It
I'm
was
just
a little
gonna-
rat bone
I'm
with
just gonna
lines
freeze
on
and
it.
be like, "You touched it?"
Yeah, it's a rat bone with lines on it.
All right, I'm gonna be curious now. I'm gonna take a closer look at that thing as well.
Sure.
Do I notice anything strange about it?
About the trinket itself? No, it actually looks like Lyric described. It looks like a little rat bone of some sort with two little black lines painted right in the middle of it.
All right, this is a big brain move here. If she could touch it but not really fully grasp it, what if I used magic instead to try and snatch at it?
You could definitely
Could I
try.
try to grab it with my mage hand?
You could try. Is that what you'd like to do?
I'm going to. Yeah, she could touch it. That's crazy. How the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'm going
All
to,
right.
for scientific
My
purposes,
desire desire for
scientific
trinket.
purposes.
transcends space and time.
Yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. All right. So
the maniac ass.
let me 30 feet. You can use the action.
My favorite part about the fact that Lyric is a kleptomaniac is that she grew up rich.
So visual and
Yeah. So okay, so you're gonna reach out and try and pull that trinket.
I'm just gonna look at it and just be like delicately grasp.
All right, Loki, roll a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Can't believe you got me to steal. Or attempt to steal.
I'm
Anyway.
involving Loki in my kleptomaniac ways.
Do I even have a sleight of hand bonus? No, of course not.
Yeah, through your skills.
An 18. An 18 is really good, Loki. As the mage hand kind of goes forward, you see, as soon as it approaches like the inner vicinity of this being with no eyes, The mage hand itself begins to slowly vanish from the fingertips all the way to the knuckles, all the way back to the wrists, as it begins to try and go in and grasp at the rodent bone, and then it kind of makes its way back out. And as it kind of exits the perimeter around this being, then you can see the mage hand starts to slowly materialize in front of you. Yeah. Unable to kind of get past some kind of a field or anti-magic barriers of sort.
Huh. So there is some kind of interference. Did you see that?
Yeah. That guy really doesn't want us to take his trinket.
All right.
Interesting.
Are we moving forward? You're kind of being so at the moment there, since you have actual form, as you can tell at the moment, there are kind of a number of orbs behind you. One of them's tapping their feet.
we should move on.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm just playing. All right. As you begin to move in into the kind of inner part of the cave here.
That is the DM quietly telling us to let the trinket go.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that was a really, really good idea to do that, and I'm glad that you actually saw that, because that's important. It's really important. So
odd that we could touch something, but at the same time, I'm concerned about the fact that it basically negated my mage hand.
Yeah.
That's not good for my other spells.
All right. So as we move forward into the cave, you hear, it seems like running water, maybe somewhere underneath you. It seems to be, you can hear it. It's very quiet, but nonetheless, there seems to be some kind of like behind the wall trough or something that's carrying water. Nonetheless, you begin to walk forward, following the other orbs. And as you do, you walk closer into less of a cave and more of a tunnel, a constructed kind of a place with heavy stone and brick that kind of outline the perimeter of the cave with heights pretty high at points. This seems to be leading into a larger structure. The cave seemed to be kind of a very humble facade of a very large structure underneath the ground, from what you can tell. You make your way into a large room, Loki and Lyric. The room is full of rooms. How do I put this? It's a very large room with very high ceilings, and there seems to be tables upon tables of and this is horrible, but body parts separated kind of by what it is: arms, legs, torso.
Oh God!
And they seem to be stitching them together to create kind of abominations, if you will, the forms of monstrous proportions. You see a man with the leg of looks like some kind of a reptile creature. It stands upright, and you see this strikes your attention, both of you. And we'll go ahead and roll a perception check first before I give that away. So please roll a perception check for me, both of you.
This is so much worse. This is a mistake.
Zombie,
look at that. Oh, nice.
What do you want?
It's a good roll.
That's your perception, performance.
A 9.
Oof.
So Loki, you notice there are a couple of things that disturb you, if you're not disturbed already. There are carts. There are these carts that are being kind of pulled around by these satyrs, and they have these long purple robes. Satyrs. Sorry, not satyrs. I'm sorry. My apologies. I fucked that up. By tieflings.
Hold up.
By tieflings. I'm sorry about that. They're being pulled around by tieflings, and they're all tieflings. You can tell. They're kind of delivering these bodies or what's left of them from the battlefield kind of into these rooms for these other beings to kind of stitch together. It's very horrific to see. Above you, you hear the sounds of explosions and kind of the rumbling sounds of as kind of parts of rock kind of crumble down from the ceiling above you as a battle seems to be taking place all around.
I got a question.
Yes.
I don't know if you can give it to me with an 8, but do they have their eyes?
The ones that are doing the constructing?
No. The tieflings, do they have their eyes still?
They do.
Interesting.
They do. Lyric, you see, and this disturbs you, you see the construction of a two-headed ogre with half of its arm kind of looks like it was chopped away at the elbow, and so they're sawing the shoulder away, and they're attaching a very large blade into the spot. They're using like leather straps
It's that
and such.
motherfucker.
And this is very odd to you, Lyric. Right beside it, there's a being standing there with a long black cloak, and he around his neck there seems to be a cracked shard of something, like a dark kind of shard of like crystal or something around his neck, and it's glowing a very radiant purple. And he's putting his arms up in the air, and there's this black kind of a shadowy swirl that seems to surround this creature, and the creature stands upright and vanishes right before your eyes. It's probably one of the strangest things you've ever seen in this life, aside from where you're at right now.
Fuck.
You continue moving forward in this
I
in
have
this
a quick
corridor.
question, Reed.
Yes.
Do I recognize the tunnel we're in at all?
Roll a history check.
This is crazy with the tieflings. So I don't know if they're.
Look at the two natural 20s in a row.
20s!
What?
That is fucking insane.
That
Roll.
is absolutely crazy.
I feel like there should be something special for rolling 2 natural 20s in a row.
Well, I wasn't supposed
Man.
to roll with advantage. I just always have it on because I can't be
Yeah.
ours.
No, that's
Yeah.
so good. Okay, let me hold on one second. Let me consult my book.
Consulting the big texts.
Yes. All right.
Do they seem strangely of the sense of betrayal?
I'm sorry?
Do I smell a chess game? Do I smell a sense of betrayal?
Oh.
Do I smell a dungeon?
So, I will tell you this. Since
Uh-huh.
your history, you just, in the moment, all of the pieces are connected in your brain, right? You're seeing the world kind of differently, like hyper focused, and you're noticing, Lyric, there is an inscription along the very bottom of the wall. It's very faint. It's very hard to read, and that inscription was the same exact inscription at the same exact spot that you remember while searching for Talia in a dungeon not so long ago. You remember there were a couple of corridors with some cells at the very end that were kind of broken open, if you recall. In this case, Lyric, these cells are intact. As you begin to walk by, you see there are various types of forms in here. There's a very large group of orcs in the cell next to you, to your left as you walk, Loki. To your right, there's a couple of centaurs to your right in a cell with a lock that seems to be kind of glowing like a radiant purple. Yes, Lyric, you do recognize this.
Okay. Those symbols I see down there, right?
Yes.
Are they the same ones that etchings were made of?
I'm sorry?
Are they the same ones that we got etchings of, or rather, Azel got etchings of?
Oh, they're very same.
Okay, cool.
Oh my
Well, in
god.
that case, I won't give myself another tattoo.
I think with a natural 22 lyric, you'll be able to remember this
Okay.
like when you come back to a T.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. All right, you guys, let me.
That's insane.
I'm gonna kind of pull on Loki's shirt a little bit. Loki.
Hmm?
Look, and I'm gonna point to the symbols down there. These are the dungeons we were in when we went to save Talia.
Oh my god, you're right. But they look new.
We're in the past. And that ogre, they were making the ogre we just fought in the woods.
I thought I recognized that.
They cut his arm off and put a blade on it. And that guy, he's got a shard around his neck that's glowing purple. I think he's in charge.
So as you continue talking between yourselves here, you notice in the distance, as my headphones fall off. Oh no! In the distance, a form, and you both recognize him kind of as you begin to talk. It is a tiefling walking in with a cart. And the tiefling is standing there, kind of stops for one moment, looks across, and looks over, like looks at you. Seems to be the only thing in here, the only being, creature that seems to actually notice you, and begins to make his way closer to you. Roll an investigation check, please, both of you.
Is it our one-eyed purple people eater friend?
Uh-oh. What's with my rolls?
19.
I don't know. Loki, you are so shocked right now because of everything that you are seeing around you, and you're taking mental notes about all these things you're seeing, the centaurs being locked up, and all of the abominations being made, and these green and purple and blue kind of orbs that are moving through this hallway and into the corridor ahead of you and in front of you as you're kind of stopped at the moment. Lyric, you notice this tiefling that's moving towards you. He's missing an eye. He's missing a horn.
Oh my god, it is.
He seems to be slowly moving towards you, and he starts to extend his hands at you.
Low key, Jamie forgot his name. Can we help a girl out here?
Lafon.
LaFawn! LaFawn?
He kind of stops. He says, I know I recognized you.
Oh my god.
You're not supposed to be here.
Oh my god, is he talking to us right now?
He is.
That is completely gonna shock us.
LaFawn, you're not supposed to be here. This is the past.
You can see us?
I can. He says, as out of everyone, I would have expected for you to understand how this magic is governed, that allows us to do this. But you have to leave here. You can't be here. Your companion visited me not so long ago, and I had to tell him the same. But you must leave. This is not a good time for you to be here. He looks around, and you see crumbling happening from the ceiling.
Look, man. I don't understand how this power fully works yet. It just sort of happens, sometimes when I want to, sometimes when I don't. I don't really know how to turn it off. I don't know how to go back.
Oh, it's wild. He says to you, as he looks at you, there are much greater things at hand here. For the time, I can at least send you in the right direction. And he kind of looks around in all different directions, and there seems to be a group of men kind of coming through the cave with torches, as he seems frantic for the moment. And he says, sorry, me 1 second here. You know what the problem with having notes is? Having too many notes. Then you're like, where is this part, and that part, and this part?
This is true.
Ah, thank you. I'm sorry about that. All right. Loki, he approaches you, kind of with a smile, and begins to raise his arm onto your shoulder. Do you allow this?
Yes, I trust this tiefling.
Okay. And he puts his other arm on your other shoulder, and he looks straight into your eyes. And in this moment, Loki, there is an exchange that happens. It only takes a second, a moment, but it seems as though you've learned a great deal about magic and about the laws that govern magic. You begin to see items in your mind, ordinary pictures of ordinary items in your mind: an axe, a gauntlet, a sword, and then you begin to see threads that kind of develop out of nowhere, purples and yellows and reds and blues and greens.
The weave.
And the weave. And they begin to start to become connected in a very odd way to some of these items. And you begin to see these items grow in power. Some of them begin to glow, or another begins to be set ablaze. Another begins to drop the temperature of the area around it. You see, begin to make connections here. Then another picture is shown to you, Loki, in your mind of people that exist in the world. There seems to be a monk or something standing atop a very, very large pole of some sort, kind of in balance. But you can see that it isn't just the monk that is holding the balance. It's these threads that seem to be holding her ankle to the pole itself as she begins to move in very odd ways and kind of defy gravity itself as this thread kind of holds her in place. You notice this. You notice another picture of a being in all white on a battlefield, kind of long white flowing cloaks, and they begin to look around them at their wounded comrades on the battlefield, and they raise their hand in the air with an item in it of sorts. And these threads begin to illuminate up through the ground, and it makes a connection with them as a gold kind of a radiation of light kind of sweeps over the land, bringing life back into the comrades around her. You see all this kind of in a moment, Loki. And then you see Lafon in front of you, and everything around you changes.
Oh boy, back to the void.
Back to the void.
Shit.
As you are sucked through this kind of vortex, Loki, with this newfound knowledge in your mind, you're brought to a place. And Lyric, unfortunately at this moment, you seem to be just hyper-focused on the surroundings of the area around you. Just in this moment, let me... Upper right. Loki, for a moment, you hear voices in your head.
Uh-oh.
We must safeguard the Anathys. We must. We cannot allow the forces of evil and darkness to get their hands on it. If they do, everything is lost. Everything is lost. And then you hear another person from across the room. It says, but where? Where could we possibly hide this? That they couldn't find it. And then the other person says, in the vaults. It's the only place. There's a vision in your head, Loki, of a chamber, deep within the earth. Seems to have all manner of traps, as you kind of are shown this small little stone,
An amethyst.
the amethyst. Yeah, and it seems to be. And I'll even say, for the sake of it, without a history check at all even needed, you see, surrounded by traps and such that would do people harm, that would try and get their hands on this. You make out, Loki, that the amethyst that they're referring to is actually the pendant that Lyric always wears around her neck, that she seems to not be wearing at the moment.
Oh
What
my
the
god.
It is.
So I'm going to drop a
Yeah.
bombshell on her.
Yeah. And you're starting to understand there was a ritual that was done here, and it was done by the five druids of the different points, and they came together to lock in their life essence into this stone, so that one day they could come back and make this right when they had an advantage. Right now they just can't, because the battle all around them is raging, and everything around the towns are crumbling and the cities are burning, and the darkness is just rolling over the landscape here. And so to make it safe, they locked it deep down into a vault, deep down into the earth, Loki. And now you see there's a little bit more to the story here. Why were you brought to a battlefield? And now you're starting to understand. As this happens, Lyric,
Oh, fuck.
you... Let me change this again. I have so many things here. There we go. I was like, oh god, roll 20.
That is very small. I'm gonna zoom in on
Tiny.
that.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
1 second.
That's like a little storage room.
What?
All right. Do you guys feel like taking a quick 5? Just getting up, stretching out? I love that
Yeah,
hesitation. That's so cool.
Considering it.
Is that okay? Just get up and stretch out quick. In other words, I have to pee, so I have to pay.
No, go
That is
ahead.
Reef telling us that he needs bio.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna go get a drink then.
all right. Be right back.
Quick 5. What the actual fuck is going on, yo?
What the fuck?
I'm going to be dropping some facts on you later.
I specifically said that I want no part of world-saving prophecies.
Yeah, well, see about that.
Damn it, a goddess came to me, told me to make my brother good, and my brother drops this world-saving prophecy bomb on me.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun to explain to you. Like, hey, you know that amulet you got?
I have emotional attachment to this damn thing.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna grab my drink. What the fuck?
Raw.
You brah.
I'm back.
Hi back, I'm Jamie.
Hi.
Hello, Jamie. What is up with my rolls tonight? Holy shit.
Oh man.
3, 4,
Oh crap.
8. My rolls have been shit.
Okay, I fucked up a deck save. That is my good roll. That is my best roll.
Fair enough. But you did get the dub 20. That's
The
something.
dex is my best save, and I fucked it up.
All right. Are we all back?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay.
What the fuck, Reed? What the fuck?
What?
I know.
Lyric is out here. All she wants to do is save her brother, but no. We have to give her a world-saving amulet.
Yeah, your point?
She's already said that she refuses to accept the call, man. She's already straight up told Azel came back talking about how we're all prophesized to help, and she's like, fuck that noise.
I mean, that's not going to stop fate from fucking you over, but, you know.
I need to get to Willowin so I can commune with Elistray, because I have some what the fucks to ask.
So, all right. Loki.
Yes.
Okay. As you are brought out of the vortex, you kind of fall through. You're in a very large, not very large, kind of, a room, a room of sorts of storage and things, and you recognize. Roll a history check for me, please. Only Loki this time.
Oh, come on, please. Please. Heart of the cards, I guess heart of the dice in this case.
Ten. Loki, it's hard to say, but this room seems familiar to you in some kind of way.
Alright, is there any chance this was the room I was in with Azel? No.
Possibly.
Maybe.
There's a way to find out.
Can I go to that door and check it?
If you remember.
Oh. Heh. I'm going to check under the rug. Maybe
Okay.
there's a hidden
Which direction?
Well, all these corners seem to be held down. I'm gonna start where Lyric's at, top corner. Nothing
All
there.
right. You got it. Well.
Yeah, remodeling?
No, this is familiar. I think I've been here before.
Is that a bad thing? A good thing?
It's a bad thing if the person I know is here again.
Who were you here with before?
Not the person I was with, but the person we saw. Denzin.
Uh-oh.
You know the guy you gave the
Oh,
beat
God.
down to?
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Have the didn't to die with Ogner, my friend.
That's right. You do see a door. There's a door out of the room here.
So, last time I remember that being underground cavern, that's where we saw the zombies and the stuff.
That's right.
Oh boy, is that place. Oh. Well, we're not gonna go down that trapdoor again. We're gonna go to the door this time. I already know it's down
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
what's
you
in
got
the
it.
trap door?
Cave. Lots of undead. And possibly Denizen. Not
Oh,
that way.
gross.
Yeah, so the door actually is cracked. It doesn't seem to be completely closed. You can walk through if you like.
Yes. I'm going to walk through and see if I can.
Sure, sure.
What are
And
those?
seems
Are
to be a
those
large kind of
pillars?
room, with columns in the middle. Yeah, they're
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
be columns. They're not. They're not very good.
Yeah, I was like, are
Sorry.
those pots? Columns? What the fuck?
It's hard to see. Yeah, it's hard to see what they are. They're columns that kind of reach up all the way to the ceiling. They're quite large. There seems to be another room to the east here, as well as the door on the bottom here seems to be cracked as well. I should have just did this. I don't know why I didn't do this.
Interesting. Oh, that's a lot of people there.
What the fuck?
There is a lot of shit going on here.
There's
And those,
drow in there.
yeah, those look like drow. And elves. Okay, so I guess we're going to go and take a peek. And I'm sure
Got a half elf in there too.
sure Lyric's gonna point out what she sees drow in there.
Sure. Yeah, as you begin to look around the room here, you see various crates and boxes and just things that you would imagine, that you would need. It seems to be some kind of a library or a library wing of sorts, of some maybe larger structure, from what you can tell. And as you begin to open the door here, you see there are a lot of elves in here, mostly. There seems to be, and just so I can clear this up here, because it's pretty deceiving from the way that it looks on the map here, because I used probably the wrong tokens. All of the elves that seem to be in here, except for this seems to be a human. There seems to be one that stands out from the rest. This one here
We're a man.
seems to be
Lyric?
wearing a mask, yeah, of sorts. All the other elves seem normal elves to you. That one seems different. The color of his ears seem a little bit darker than the rest.
Moon elves.
Do you see all these weird elves, Lyric? One human? Are those drow? Hey,
Okay.
Look
Okay.
at
So
the guy
this
in the-
guy, that's a half elf. I don't know if you guys know that. That's the half elf from the player's guy.
It is. I needed a token, so I just stole him.
No. He looks great. That guy looks human.
Yeah.
The pale elves at the end there, they could be drow, but they're more likely moon elves.
Yeah.
Who's the guy with
Those
the
are
mask?
definitely elves. That one is a drow. His ears are black. He has to be a drow.
Why is he wearing a mask?
I don't know. I'm going in there.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a mask. I wear a mask. I'm going in.
Sure. Sure.
I'm like right here.
Yeah, for sure. And as you do, you realize there seems to be a little bit of a glow coming off you, but nothing.
They
There doesn't
shouldn't
seem-
react. As
Yeah.
far as I know, like I let her know, like they shouldn't react for the most part since this is a past vision thing.
Okay.
I mean, they
I'm gonna
shouldn't.
keep moving then.
They
Sure.
shouldn't,
I-
but I mean, the tiefling did prove me wrong.
He said they shouldn't notice me, so I'm just gonna beeline it for the guy in the mask.
Yeah. Nobody seems to notice you. Everybody seems to be doing their own thing too, as you observe here.
Can I take a look at what's on this table?
You can roll an investigation check for me.
Like, there's some
Reed, while he's
doc-
doing that, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Did you say when Alec came back, did he say he went 300 years in the past?
I don't
Azel, sorry.
I don't remember what. If you watching, Azel, I can't remember.
He was
what he
watching, but he just stepped outside for a minute. So
I think it might have been actually.
I'll double check with him. I will relay your
Thank
question.
you.
I
He comes back.
Thank
I
you.
recently learned how long drow live for, and I have concerns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Anyway,
I love it. I love it. This is so good.
especially with a certain home and child showing up in my stuff a lot. I'm like, fuck, is that my dad or
Yeah.
my brother? Fuck, is that my dad or my brother? Because it could be either, considering how long drow can live for. So, yeah. Anyway, that's I just DM
Fun
question.
times.
I
love
apologize.
this. No, it's okay.
Look, you got a good roll.
I
Yeah,
know,
16.
finally.
It's really good. Okay. You notice, Loki, on the table here next to you, the one that you're looking at, you see there's a human dressed very well, with a kind of a long red cape with kind of gold accents and a gold clasp around it. Across the table, there seems to be an elf, very fair skin, seems to be wearing kind of a lighter blue attire, maybe a long dress of sorts with some silver kind of accents on the bottom. Very elegant looking. Everyone in this room seems to be dressed pretty exquisite, except for one, and we'll get to that. There seems to be on the table here, the content seems to be a book, and from what you can tell, it seems to be a book about wielding the power of wild magic, which seems to be almost in itself funny, considering wild magic is wild magic. There's another book here that you see
Yeah, that's
that's
a
open.
contradiction, basically.
Yeah, it's really weird to you. It's very odd to you. There's another book here that talks about weaving the threads of magic, is what it's called, and it talks about the weave, actually.
I'm 100% gonna try and snatch that.
Sure. Unfortunately, Loki, as you begin to put your arm out, your hand out through, the book doesn't seem to be in physical enough form for you to grab it. At this time, at least, for whatever reason, you feel kind of still a bit disconnected from this material plane, wherever you may be.
Interesting.
But there is a couple of other things on the table here.
Oh. Other things.
There's I'm glad you actually looked. There's a torn piece of page of parchment from maybe a larger book. This looks quite old, actually, to you. You can make out a couple of words on it with your 16. The couple of words are locked forever.
Locked forever.
Yeah. The key to sorrow.
Locked forever. The key to sorrow.
Yep. And unyielding pain at the bottom. It's very weird. It's just a couple of lines of something. It seems to be torn from a page here, as well as there's a parchment with an inkwell and a quill in it, and it seems to have some scribblings. Somebody seems to be taking notes from these books here, probably this human on the table. Lyric, across the table from you is a drow. You can tell because you're quite familiar with drow. And he seems to be a little bit smaller than the others around him. He doesn't seem to be dressed in very expensive clothing. As a matter of fact, his robe that he's wearing currently on the bottom left seems to be torn a bit with pieces of the fabric kind of just kind of flowing. He's very out of place in this place and seems to be by himself, kind of alienated, if you will, kept to himself across the room. He has a map laid out in front of him, Lyric. And you see, no, it's okay. You see a parchment also. And he has it kind of in between his legs here, to kind of keep it out of sight as he kind of turns around. Roll a investigation check for me, Lyric.
Okay. No second here.
I'm sorry, I'm railroading the hell out of you guys.
No. You're good. Railroad me. Do it. Okay, hold on. You said investigation?
Yes. Look at that. That's a 20. All right. Freaking awesome. Okay. You see on the parchment, Lyric, it's torn out of a larger book, and you can see the edges of the page are have some like gold inlaid work. Like this book came out of something very, very expensive, and this person either tore it out of a book or maybe found it. It's folded. It seems to have some folds in it. And as you get a closer look, you notice immediately there's a sketch on the page along with a whole bunch of text. And the sketch on the page, Lyric, is your amulet.
Oh boy.
There seems to be a connection here, and you're starting to slowly realize that there is a scar on the back right ear of this drow character.
Oh,
the same scar that you remember being on the back ear of your father.
Oh no.
God. Oh. I'm gonna get closer.
Sure.
And I am going to get like really close because I know he can't.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna like concentrate really, really hard, and I'm just gonna like scream it because I know they can't see me, right?
Sure.
I'm gonna concentrate really hard, and I'm going to scream, and I'm sorry, Loki, and I'm going to scream Lear at the top of my lungs.
I'm looking at the table right now, so that's kind of catch me off guard, and I'm kind of gonna get startled, like, whoa, what?
There is, for a brief moment, time itself seems to stop, Lyric, all around you, Loki, just for a moment.
What did you do, Lyric?
And you see this drow begin to, he straightens his back and looks around frantically, just for a moment. And then time begins to almost catch back up. He continues looking at his parchment, almost shaken up for one moment. The other people in the room, they don't seem to be affected by this.
I'm gonna turn, and his mask, are the eyes out of his mask?
They are.
I'm just gonna look at his eyes for a moment, and then I'm just gonna like jump back, like, oh my god, oh.
Lyric,
Loki!
Are you okay? Are you okay?
You know who this is, Lyric.
Loki, this is my father.
What?
My dad, the man who adopted me and raised me, the one who kidnapped me. That is my father.
Father doesn't kidnap their. What?
I'm a changeling. He's a drow. I was raised by drow. That is my father.
There's something you notice, Lyric, on the letter, on the note, on the page in front of you. It says, "Until the champion is brought forth to make right the wrongs of our carelessness, our ignorance, the anethys must be hidden. And the only bearer is that without race." He has scribbled beside it, changeling.
So does she know what the anethys is, or am I gonna see that and bring it up to her?
So she's seen the sketch of her amulet in this on this
sketch
page.
of my amulet on there.
Um,
Amethyst, without race, changeling. Oh my god.
He seems to be. It seems to be lyric. It seems the lyric that that this item of amazing power can't be wielded by anybody but a changeling.
It's your amulet.
He kind of begins to look up into space for a moment, and you see the whole room around you begin to change once again, unfortunately.
As the room starts to change, I'm gonna like reach out for him before I leave.
Sure. You do. Your fingers kind of slowly sweep through the ear and like the top of the head as you are kind of taken out. You are brought into a scene, Lyric and Loki. It's as you're flying through this kind of purple and blue tunnel that you're kind of getting used to at this moment. You're close together at this point, kind of within reach of one another, as to not kind of lose one another again. In fear, maybe, that you might find yourself on another battlefield or in the middle of an ocean or somewhere bad.
Can't
And
have that.
as you fly through, you are struck with visions of a drow, young drow with companions by his side, making their way through kind of a cavern, and making their way through various rooms with spikes and large swinging blades and such.
They're going to where the amethyst is.
They seem to be, and until they finally come to a chamber, Loki and Lyric, and in that chamber is the amethyst, or the the amethyst, and they pick it up, and he realizes at that moment that he can't use its power. There's another kind of quick zap in your consciousness as you are brought even further into a vision. The vision is sorry, give me 1 second.
That's a cozy little house.
Oh my.
As you see the world kind of come back to its own, it forms around you. You see a beautiful picture in front of you, a beautiful vision of a cottage, kind of with a water wheel and kind of spinning with a stream beside it, and flowers on the side of a hill. Seems to be a mountain range behind it with a waterfall and all manner of wildlife kind of flying around. And you see a family, Lyric and Loki. As you begin to approach, you see seems to be a family, and it's very odd. They're featureless. They have no features on their face. They seem almost the same in themselves, if that makes any sense. And as they turn the corner, the parents kind of that you would make out to be the parents, they kind of walk inside the house here. As the young one, seems to be a young girl, very young, seems to be kind of walking around the side of the house, strolling, looking at the nature and the birds. And there seems to be a little bit of a flicker of a light in the distance out in the field. And so she follows it, and you follow her to kind of the edge of the tree line here. This little purple light begins to grow ever so slightly. And she follows it, and she follows it closer, and until you realize that she's quite far from the cottage, maybe a couple of 100 feet.
Oh no.
Until there's kind of a loud swoosh sound from above, and a net, along with some kind of very odd powder fills the air that you can see. The child falls asleep and is taken away, and as the child is put into the back of a wagon, you can see on the face of the person in charge, you can see on the back of his ear the same scar, the same color of skin.
Is there another young drow with him?
The other drow seem to have gone back into the cottage before. I'm sorry.
No,
not
with
the drow.
with the one.
Sorry.
With the guy that's on the wagon with the girl. Is there another drow with him, or is he by himself?
There is another drow.
Fuck. I am gonna take off after that cart, like just like beating it, like as fast as I can.
I'm going to follow after, concerned. Like, was that you, Lyric?
And I'm not even gonna answer him. I'm just gonna keep going, like frantically trying to catch that cart.
Yeah, and Lyric, I'd like you to.
It's going to dawn on me when I get back that I had a chance to go back and see my parents, but instead I'm gonna keep following the cart.
Yeah, no, I love this. Lyric, roll a dexterity check for me. Loki, also you roll one with advantage, Lyric, Loki,
Uh-huh.
you roll a dex, just a regular dex check for me, please.
Okay, normal.
Yep.
Dexterity.
15.
Oh, not bad. What you got, Loki? What you got? A 12. So, Lyric, you begin to realize what you're seeing in front of you here, and you gather up the strength, and you begin to run with all that you have. And before you know it, the wagon slowly makes its way out of your sight.
Oof.
The second it's gone, the second it disappears, I'm just gonna like hit my knees. Just like bam right there in the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a moment. Oh crap. There's a moment where oh no, what happened to my stuff? There's a moment, Lyric, where you realize that what you've just seen, what you've just witnessed, could very well be the reason you were taken. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna like pound my fist in the ground like super hard. I don't care if I break a knuckle. I'm just gonna like slam my fist in the ground. He stole me for the necklace.
I'm going to slowly
Stupid
approach from
fucking
behind.
necklace.
Just be like, are you okay?
That was me. That was Lear and Mirren and they took me from my parents for a stupid necklace. I spent my whole life thinking they just found me in the woods, wandering by myself, and my dad just was like, oh, look, a perfect little killer. But it was a necklace, a stupid necklace.
With your knowledge of the weave now, Loki, deep in place in your mind, you're starting to realize how important and special all of you are on this journey, on this quest, and what it means to the world to repair it, to heal it, to relieve it of this curse that has rendered it helpless throughout the centuries, having to relive this disaster. And as this happens, for one moment,
Oh no, I don't like the music shift.
I like the tone of music there, Reeg.
Neither do I.
The rude tone.
Oh god, that's trippy.
you are brought back in to your vortex, the one that you've come to know. And as you stumble through, descend through, this one seems a little bit more violent as you stumble through, and you begin to hear a voice from the nether, from outside the walls of this vortex. It says, I knew I'd find you. Keep looking. Keep gazing. I'll
Oh, no.
find you soon.
Oh, no,
You'll
no,
never
no.
hide from me. The reclaiming will be mine. And as you hear this, you see another scene. It's the same cottage, seemingly. There's a boy. He kind of runs out the front door. The cottage seems to be on fire. There are people around. There's a large gathering of soldiers, Lyric and Loki, that are coming down the road as we speak. A large procession of them, followed by a cage on wheels. A cage made out of steel, seemingly to hold maybe an animal or something, but it seems that the cart and the carriage and everything along with it is coming this way to this cottage. And the house seems to be smoldering somewhere. There seems to be maybe a fire inside it. And just out the front entrance, you see a little drow boy who seems to be hiding in the bushes, looking in the direction of the house. He seems to be dressed quite well, kind of keeping an eye on this family, seemingly. And at this moment, Talia, are you there?
Me? Yes? Hi?
Hi. You are met with, at the moment, Talia, as you stand there beside the wagon after a horrible battle with an ogre, you stand there and just for a second, something hits you in your mind. It's Lyric. And it's Loki, and they seem to be like standing, and there's a green glow and a blue glow about them, and they seem to be standing in front of a cottage, and they're looking at this. They're observing this drow boy dressed in very nice clothing, and he seems to be looking at the cottage, smoldering, and there's a procession of men and guards, knights, followed by a large cage on wheels coming down the path here. What would you all like to do?
I want to know what's in that cage.
I want to know how I got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, Talia, you are surrounded. You find yourself in an odd surrounding here.
I'm gonna run up to the boy.
You're gonna run up to the boy?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Towards the carriage. I want to see what's in that cage.
Okay. All right. I love this. Okay, Talia, what would you like to do?
Where am I? Who am I?
I threw you right into this. I'll explain it. I promise.
I mean, I just kind of like.
I'm in lots of distress. I brought Talia here. I needed my comfort.
He wasn't expecting this.
I'm just like looking around, like what the, and then I guess I kind of can I see that she's distressed? Can I like visually see? So I'm gonna.
And you're starting to think. You're beginning to think, Talia, too, that maybe that's the reason here, because you know that you and Lyric have a connection, a very weird, odd connection. You've had for a while now.
Joking, but cool.
And ever since like you were imprisoned, you noticed that you had this kind of weird connection between and she must have just encountered something incredibly psychologically damaging or something for you to kind of have this just happen out of nowhere and be pulled from your consciousness into this place. Sorry, Lyric, we're going to save you for last.
No,
so
you're fine.
Loki, you run up to the cage. You begin to notice that they don't see you. You are indeed invisible to those around you, and you begin to run up to the cage here. The cage is empty. And it looks like maybe they might be making their way to the cottage here, Loki.
Oh, fuck you, freak. Sorry.
Also, there seems to be kind of a weird smell coming from the back of the house here, Talia, that you notice in the moment, but you're just so focused on Lyric and her distress. Are you heading towards Lyric?
Yeah, I'm running after her.
All right. As you begin to head towards Lyric, you reach your hand out, yes, to see who this person is, this drow is. Lyric, you realize as soon as you make eye contact with him, he's your brother.
Holy shit.
He seems to be keeping an eye on this house for whatever reason. You don't know if the fire was started by him You don't really have any other information other than he's here.
When you say young drow, do you mean like child or teenager?
Teenager. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna whip around and look at the house to look where he's looking at, and that's when I notice Talia barreling towards me.
Yeah.
Talia?
Yeah, Talia's coming at you right now. Yeah. You can go ahead and continue here if you'd like. We're gonna go ahead and give Loki a second here in just a minute to do some stuff, but go ahead and do your thing.
Talia?
I'm gonna run up to her, and I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna grab her arm, but like making sure that I'm not touching her skin. It's just a thing.
Sure.
I'm just gonna grab the cloth, and then I'm gonna kind of shake her and be like, "Are you okay?"
You're here? How did you?
I don't know.
that, and I'm gonna point to the house behind her and kind of like reach up and grab her shirt and twist her to look.
Yeah.
That's my parents' house.
What are you waiting for? And I'm just like gesture towards the house with my free hand.
Yeah, and as you do, the light seems to dim around you. You all, the colors, they seem to just begin to merge once again. Just in this moment, in this one moment, Lyric, where you might finally find some answers.
Oh no.
No.
So are we all three of us now in the vortex?
You are. Talia, Lyric, Loki, you begin to fly through this vortex kind of quite smooth until the very end. You begin to see a light appear kind of at the end here.
Is that you, Talia?
Hi?
How did you get here?
I don't know. Actually, I'm going to be calm when I say that. I'm going to be called that.
Poor Talia.
I don't know.
So,
I opened my eyes and here I was.
So you are brought back. All of the three of you wake at the same time with Sato and Trix and them. I believe it was Trix, kind of shaking you a little and saying, "Hey, are you guys all right? You seem to have been in a trance for a little while here." And you kind of all three kind of awaken at the same time. Loki
forget.
Loki begins to absolutely talk about the weave. He kind of begins to you remember
Rambling the weave.
Yep.
That's how I can see.
And that, my friends,
I'm gonna mumble something about the cottage and the mirror and hop up into the like pile right into the cart. Like, nope, don't touch me.
I'm going to ramble about the weave and then immediately forget what I was talking about for some odd reason.
yeah, it's
Nobody
just
even
you remember.
knew I was in a trance, so I'm just gonna be like, okay.
I was like, wait, what? What happened? Yeah,
What just happened?
yeah, and you remember Denzin. You remember Denzin's voice, Loki, like it was.
I do. Well, I'm going
in your head.
when we play next, when I get a recollection of everything.
So, my friend, that is where we're going to end it this evening. I hope you all had a good time.
Fuck you, Reek. Fuck you.
Did you enjoy it? Was it cool?
Yeah.
It was cool.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank God! I'm
everyone's
so
I'm
glad
not
you guys
crying.
Vice stream.
I'm not crying.
Aw.
So many strange
Love it.
things.
Oh my god.